How's it going, everybody? So balance changes have been revealed, at least the work in progress ones, and I am pretty excited about them today. They're interesting. Let's get into them. First, I made two decks. One deck with the nerfed cards, and then one deck with the buff cards. A few, obviously, they didn't have 8 cards that were both nerfed and buffed, so I put in a few cards in this buff deck, or the nerf deck that I want cards nerfed. I put in a few cards that deserve a nerf. Does that make sense? So, Prince, I swear we had better see the Prince in the final balances, or there's going to be a problem with this game. Goblin Sign got actually nerfed. Lumberjack got nerfed 2 cycles with the evolution. The Lightning needs a nerf. The Tornado got nerfed, which is an interesting one. The problem with the Tornado nerf is they definitely didn't go about it the right way, and I believe it's going to make the card kind of trash, but we'll get into that in a second. Evo Dark Goblin is just kind of there. I don't think Ram Rider needs a nerf. I just needed a win condition, so I put that in this deck. But yeah, it is an interesting balance changes to say the least. So we've got the Lumberjack evolution getting to 2 cycles. It should have done that since the start, but you know they had to. How do I put this nicely? they. How do you even put this without making it obvious? They wanted the bank off of the card. Let's just be honest with ourselves. So they kept it at 1 evolution till, you know, people kind of have it or are not buying it anymore. And now it's now 2 evolutions, or 2 cycles, I mean, not evolutions. But yeah, interesting right there. He's going to log this probably. The Prince, please nerf the Prince. The Rage Spell is getting a slight nerf again as well. I don't even know what the nerf directly is to the Rage Spell, but I know it is getting one, which will also affect the Lumberjack, I'm pretty sure, right? So that's an interesting one. Lumberjack Evo is definitely still needing a nerf. The Goblin Sign, thankfully, is actually getting nerfed slightly. I believe it's hit points. I can't speak English. I'm sorry. So good nerf there. I'm not like crazy big fan about the nerf. I think it could be a little bit more even, but I'm also a Goblin Sign hater. Like, this card is so miserable for the game. So I think it'll be fine. You can actually take out the monster without it being obnoxiously overpowered. Hopefully, that's the goal. That's how it should have been from the start. But I'm just going to go Ram like this since he has no MK cycle. We can go for the Lightning. Then I believe I can get Prince down for this MK. I think we've got him. But yeah, what do you guys think else needs to get nerfed? I think the cards in my deck are pretty solid. Evo Dark Goblin maybe could use a nerf too, just because the card is broken as heck. But I'm not going to, you know, be super adamant for that. I mean, I don't really mind if it doesn't get nerfed, whatever. It's a fine card. I mean, it's very good in situations. In other situations, it just get arrowed. So, I mean, it's one of those cards, kind of like the Firecracker, that could use a nerf, but probably won't ever get one. So, okay, that's going to be low-key. Oh, the poison on the Dark Goblin. Look at that. Oh my gosh. That is exactly why I believe the Dark Goblin should be added to this list, because what was that? It killed the entire MK, the entire Skeleton Barrel with just its poison darts effect. I don't think it should be infinite. I think it should have a timer, kind of like the Rune Giants. Okay, I almost forgot the Duchess is also getting a nerf. I just went back and looked to make sure I didn't forget that one, or forget anything. And the Duchess is getting, I believe, a 4% nerf, which is kind of interesting. I know people say Duchess is OP, but I really think it's terrible in a lot of situations. So it's definitely not going to make it any better, that's for sure. And it's going to be utilized quite a bit less, I would say, than it is currently right now. Which, honestly, you know, it's utilized, but it's not that crazy utilized as you would think. At least not from what I've experienced in the game, and I play this game every day. I'm just going to drop Prince to Goblin Sign the River. This is exactly why Prince needs a nerf right here. You can literally make stupid plays like this. We can go Rage on top of that. And that honestly might be game, I think. Oh my gosh. Please nerf the Prince charge. Please, guys, please. Supercell, I know you hear us, man. You have to nerf the Prince charge, or we are going to, like, lose our mind. Look at this card, man. So that's Tower Down on the other side. Okay, so the nerf that is the most, you know, affecting to me is the Tornado. I actually don't even think the Tornado needs a nerf, and I know you're probably like, oh, that's bias, Hunter. Well, let me explain why. So Tornado is one of those cards where you actually have to know placements and utilize it well to actually get a ton of value out of it. Of course, it's always going to be good with splash cards like the Ice Wizard or the Baby Dragon, Goblin Sign ability, stuff like that, if you use it correctly. But I don't think that nerfing the damage it does to troops and not letting it kill spear goblins and bats is the right way to nerf a card at all, especially not a spell like this. It's basically going to be utterly useless on any offensive ability, and the only thing you can do is NATO it into the splash troops. So what they're doing is basically making it completely worse on its own. Like, it doesn't do anything. Basically, it does nothing to troops or anything. And you're going to let it, you know, it's only going to be used with splash cards now, so you have to pair a card with Tornado. You can't actually use the Tornado in a cool, unique way like it's supposed to be used. Like, there's so many times you can go for cool, like, plays that, like, predict a Goblin Gang, bang, you catch it really quick, and then bang, you get a lock on tower. You guys have seen me Tornado a Goblin Gang, like, probably 100 times to even get a lock against Log Bait and stuff like that. But if it's not going to be able to kill Goblins, or Spear Goblins, not even just Goblins, obviously NATO doesn't kill Goblins, but if it's not able to kill Spear Goblins, then the card's going to be utterly useless on offense at all, and it's just going to be an only defensive spell. So I don't think that's a good way to change the card at all. I hope they, you know, hopefully notice that maybe before the balance changes come out, but I don't think they care. So we're just going to go Dark Open like this. It should be GG's. He should give up, but yeah, the nerf is absolutely, like, not what it should be if you're going to nerf the card, to be honest. There's plenty of other ways to go about it that wouldn't be that. But yeah, it's going to be a nice little 3-crown with our all needing nerfs deck. Let's go ahead and build our, well, I already have it built, but I'll select my all cards that need a buff deck and hop into a game. Okay, so we got our deck right here. All these cards, you know, obviously I don't think the Log needs a buff, and a few of these cards don't need a buff, but the 3 cards that are getting buffed, and oh man, I'm hyped to say this. The Sus Bush is one of my favorite cards in the entire game. You guys already know Sus Bush is I use it a lot just for fun in my troll decks and stuff that I like to build with it. And we got the Berserker. I mess with this buff a lot because I just want the card to be good and used. It just feels like it's forgotten, and I'm down. Like, who cares? It's 2 elixir. It could use a little buff. Why not? So let's make it even better. I thought maybe it would be better after the last buff they did to it. It doesn't really, it's like, to be honest. And I'm okay with it. I'm glad the Berserker is going to get buffed here. And then last but not least on the buffs, at least from what we have so far, is the Tesla. The Tesla evolution finally getting a buff after, like, months of being the worst evolution in the game. So of course I use it already, and I'm going to keep using it, and I'm pretty darn hyped to see how the buff's going to affect it. I really wish they added the Shockwave back in a very reduced manner, but unfortunately they did not do that, so that kind of sucks, but I think it's still going to be an okay buff. I believe they're buffing the damage that it does. Wait, what even is the buff? I forgot. Is it the damage or is it the health points? No, it's not hit points, surely. It's got to be damage, but still, I think the normal Tesla is one of the worst cards and base cards in the game right now, because there's just so many better building options. So I don't know if the Tesla itself could use a slight buff as well to make the card more viable, but I guess we'll see if the evolution Tesla buff makes Tesla more utilized in decks, because, you know, we only have 2 Evo slots. Dang, we really need that 3rd Evo slot, guys. I'm kidding. Please don't have that. I'll be so sad. I'm just going to go log on top of this princess right here. Oh my gosh, we clipped the Dark Goblin, which is kind of clutch. I can go Sus Bush on the right-hand side, but yeah. How do y'all feel? I want to hear everyone's opinions about the balance changes, the buffs, the nerfs. What do you think's missing? Definitely, I mean, we can all agree that there's a few cards that have to be changed. Like, the Prince has got to go. A few other cards, you know, Lightning, it just needs a nerf. It's been broken forever. And what do you think needs a buff? Like, I don't know. It's hard. I would say it's a lot harder to get cards buffed than it is to nerf the obviously broken ones. So I don't know. Maybe there's a few cards that I'm sleeping on that I don't even think about that need buffs. Maybe, like, nobody type spawners, I swear, in the comments. I will rage. But maybe like a Rascals, or maybe like a, not a Ghost. Ghost is a solid card. Maybe, like, even, to be honest, the Wizard could use a small buff, something like that. But, okay, 13 seconds. Let me not throw this game. I'm, like, yapping and not even paying attention to the match at all. But, yeah, 10 seconds left. We'll just Fireball's Tower, go Berserker right here. And just like that, easy win with our or our nerf deck, or cards that are getting buffed. Not nerfed. I'm tripping. I keep mixing them up somehow. I have, like, the worst brain cells in my head ever. Okay, we've had a match here against IRHC. He's got Duchess Tower. I don't know. Does Duchess need a nerf, guys? Genuinely. I know if you play Log Bait, you're going to think it needs a nerf. Does the Duchess need a nerf? Genuinely. I am completely open to being persuaded to the yes or the no, because I don't know, man. I'm very undecided about that change, and it's one that's going to affect the tower a lot. Like, Duchess is probably the 2nd most popular tower, right, in the game, besides obviously the Princess, which you don't even count that as a tower. That's just normal Clash Royale. That doesn't count as a tower troop. But he's going to go for the Giants like that. We'll go for the Tesla here, and then I guess I'm kind of cooked. I don't really have anything for the Prince in this deck right here. I just slapped together a deck for fun. So yeah, Bandit should be okay against Prince, I think. Can I even get that down? No, I can't. I gotta go log on the Prince. That's yikes. Gonna be a lot of damage to start this game. Bomber does not hit my tower, though, so we're chilling. I don't know. I'm so undecided about the Duchess. I'm undecided about the Tornado. It just was changed so wrong. I don't even care if it gets a nerf, but, like, bro, I don't know, man. They don't go about the nerf in that aspect the right way. And the Duchess for sure is going to be interesting. I think that there could be some other nerfs as well, maybe sliding under the radar. I know it sounds kind of weird, but maybe like a giant HP slight nerf could be good. Giant is just way too popular right now. Maybe, I don't know if this is controversial, but I think the Hog could use a slight nerf with its HP. It always gets a 1 HP shot, and I think it's ridiculous how you can get that last shot almost every single time, and it always gets the hit. That's like 500 damage on your tower each time it does that as well. And even if you spend like 6-7 elixir in units and you don't have a building, you know, it kind of makes you play building and stuff. I don't know. I think Hog could use a slight nerf, but maybe I'm just thinking of random things at this point. But he's gonna go for a Giant the River probably. I'm actually gonna evo Tesla right now like this. Maybe get the King Tower. Nah. Actually, can I get King? I think I can get King with this. Yeah, Bomber's gonna activate my King, which is perfect. And then I can just go I guess we'll just Bandit the back, kind of chill for a bit. He's gonna, I mean, how am I gonna win this against Giant, by the way? I don't have any idea. We'll go sus Bush the back. I can go for another Tesla right here. He has Giant Lightning, and I'm playing literally the most random Expo deck I've ever created in my life. Oh yeah, I also put Expo in here to get a buff, guys. Come on, please buff Expo. I'm just kidding. They're not gonna buff Expo, even though it could use a deploy speed buff. Just saying. I'm gonna go Fireball on top of the Bomber and the Mega Minion right here, and then I can't even imagine the riot that would be like. Oh man, I would just love to see the reactions of people if Expo actually got a buff at some point in this dang game. It would be hilarious. So just going to go Expo here, Berserker in front of that Prince, just to make sure it doesn't touch my Expo. And then let's see. I don't really have anything for this Lumberjack. I mean, my deck is kind of trash. Let's go Fireball Log as well on top of the Lumber, just to make sure it dies and doesn't get to my tower. And then, yeah, we can just reset. Not much of a reason to keep playing cards. Oh my gosh. That is a very aggressive Prince the River by him. But like I said earlier, the Prince at the River is almost never a bad play, which is pretty much the problem with the card. So I got to go Evo Tesla here as soon as I can for this Lumberjack. We do get a little bit of damage from that sus bush. I'm gonna go for another suspicious bush. Just keep them coming at the river. Keep slamming them at the bridge and hopefully getting some damage. I can actually fireball that. Hold up, I can hit both of those. Oh, this is gonna be some damage, guys, because Bush is on tower. Ooh, okay. Can I win against Duchess with literally the worst Expo deck ever? We'll have to see. But yeah, overall, if I had to rank the buffs in a, you know, 1 to 3 manner, I would say I'm most hyped, of course, for the Tesla. Sus Bush got to be number 2 for sure, and then also the Berserker. All 3 buffs, I like all 3 of them. I hope they add more buffs and just random stuff in the balances, so it's not like, you know, completely not a... So they have more balances, right? Like, they could make big balances this season, and it would probably make people happy. So I think they should do that. He's going to Lightning this Tesla. Yeah, we can go Berserker, Ice Spirit like this, Bandits down. Actually, no, I don't even need to Bandit. Okay, never mind. I'm going to Bandit. I'm going to go Log on the Prince and then Evo Tesla up high. I just have to make sure I don't give him any Lightning value. So Ice Spirit like this. We should be chilling. Sus Bush going to get on tower. I'm going to go Bandit, then Fireball this Bomber. I knew he's going to Bomber. I should have had that hover. That's my bad. Okay, so I can go for the Sus Bush again. Just keep it coming down the lane as many times as I can, honestly. And I can just go for the Tesla again. He might Lightning, but he's going to have to deal with the Bush as well. So I think he's got that in the back of his mind. Yeah, there's the Lumberjack. Not a good Lumberjack by him either. Oh boy. Let's go Evo Ice like this. I think I'm dead, actually. That might be... Oh no, the Lumberjack. Oh shoot. I'm dead. We'll go Bandit and then Berserker down low. Can I get it back to a Tesla? I think I can. He's going to Lightning, though. Shoot, am I dead? I think I'm dead. No! Bomber! Okay, we got the Tesla down. We can log to Bomber. I have to make sure nothing touches my tower. He's going to Lightning, though. I got a Bandit in time to hopefully get a dash on tower. Let's go for a Fireball. He's going to go... Oh my gosh, he's at nothing. We won! Dude, if he's at my tower, he would have won. Oh my goodness, thank gosh. He's at that Bandit and not my tower, or we would have lost that game. What a game to finish off the video. But yeah, let me know your thoughts about the balances down below. I'm very curious to hear them. And yeah, enjoy the Butch clip. Peace.